Hey, y'all, welcome to today's message. Today, I'm talking to you about the whole idea of imposter syndrome, this idea that we're not good enough, this thought that maybe what you've been called to, you are not qualified to fulfill your purpose. So, if you've been feeling a little hesitant to show up, to step out, I feel like tongue tied today. That's what I'll be talking about. So, I'm going to get into this message. If you want to read along with me, I'm coming from Philippians 2 and Psalm 139 to encourage you today. So don't go anywhere. When I come back, we're going to jump into this message, and it's all about getting past this trending topic, this trending idea of imposter syndrome. So I'm going to talk about that, and I'll be right back. All right, so let's jump in. This is something that I believe comes up for a lot of us. If you have ever felt like you're not good enough or you're not qualified, you're not alone in this thought. And that is why I wanted to encourage you with this message that was standing out to me today. So I'm going to first start with Philippians 2, and we will start with verse 12. And it says, "Therefore, my beloved, just as you have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but now even more in my absence, continue to work out your salvation with fear and trembling. For it is God who works in you to will and to act on behalf of his good purpose." I'm going to keep going. I was going to stop there, but it's so good. "Do everything without complaining or arguing, so that you may be blameless and pure, children of God without fault in a crooked and perverse generation, in which you shine as lights in the world, as you hold forth the word of life, in order that I may boast on the day of Christ that I did not run or labor in vain." And this is in Philippians 2. This is Paul speaking, and you can go back, read this for yourself, but it's calling us to be a light and having this understanding that sometimes you will not fit in. There are times where you may feel like maybe you're not qualified because no one else is doing what you feel called to do, or no one else is showing up in the manner that you're showing up. Everyone else is complaining, everyone else is arguing, but you're just not quite fitting in. And I think this is so encouraging because it talks about working out your salvation, not anyone else's, not comparing yourself to what someone else is doing, not comparing yourself to anyone else's purpose or how they've been created. It's all about what you have been called, created, and ordained to do in this lifetime. And when we get into this place of this whole idea of imposter syndrome, where you're showing up and you feel like you're not qualified in whatever arena, avenue, path that you're on, because we all are on completely different paths. There is not another you. No one can be you. No one can show up in the way that you do. So we're all on different paths in some way, shape, or form. Even if we're in a similar career, vocation, business, ministry, we're not the same. And it's amazing that we are all made so uniquely. So it's important to understand that it's okay, whatever you deal with or however your path is laid out, embrace it, celebrate it, because it's not a coincidence. And Psalm 139 reminds us of this. And I'm going to start at verse 14. "For you formed my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and I know this very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All my days were written in your book and ordained for me before one of them came to be." Listen, how precious to me are your thoughts, oh God. How vast is their sum. I'm going to just pause there, but I read Psalm 139. It's so beautiful. And in this instance, it's David speaking. And if I've misquoted who was speaking in these times, that's why it's important for you to read it for yourself. But if that does not make you want to just jump up and take off running, because too often people can have a path that they're on and try to force everyone else down that path, or make you feel like you're somehow not close enough to God, or you're praising God in the wrong way, or you're living your life in the wrong way, or you're not doing things right because you're not mimicking and being a carbon copy of them. And there are people that you may be able to relate if you're watching this, people that will do that. And then outside of people, we can do that to ourselves, where we feel like sister so and so or this person and that person is doing things one way and I'm not fitting into that. So I must be wrong. I must not be valid. I must not be whatever those crazy thoughts are that come up. But today, I hope you can put them down and understand that you are so unique. You are so beautiful. You have been created from the inmost being. God created and formed your inmost being. You were knit together in your mother's womb. And the fact that he talks about, I praise you. If ever there was a time to just break out in praise, if ever there was a time to celebrate, to be thankful, to be grateful, to be excited about who you are, that time is right now. That time is when you start second guessing the trials that you've gone through. That time when you start second guessing how you were created. That time that you start second guessing your gifts and the things that light you up and the things that excite you. You were created so uniquely. You were formed, knitted. It's just so beautiful when we think about it like this. I have a niece, my first niece, so I feel like she's like part niece, part my child. And as she's grown up, I love her creativity. When I see her, I think about some of the things that we always joke that she really could have been my daughter because we have so many similarities. She literally has like 3 or 4 colors going on right now in her hair. And I just look at it and I just smile and I laugh because it reminds me so much of myself. But I think about times where people will come with their judgment and say how you should. And I'm sure people may look at my niece and her multicolored hair and have their opinions, but I love how bold and confident and beautiful she's a teenager and how she shows up in this capacity without apology. And I'm sharing that example because too often we allow others to project their insecurities on us. We allow others to put their limitations on us. But unless they are the you that David talks about, and he is referring to God, they don't have the power. They didn't form you. They did not knit you together in your mother's womb. They did not create you. Therefore, they have no power. And I'm saying they loosely because I don't encourage us being so caught up in the days and so caught up in other people's opinions. But I know many of you that are watching today who have hesitated to step out. You've hesitated to be bold and confident and speak what God is doing through you because of the days, because of what someone else may think, or because of someone else's criteria, or because of how someone else said your walk should be. When today's message, Psalm 139, Philippians 2, it just reminds us how important it is for us to embrace and walk in our uniqueness and celebrate it, be grateful for it, and use every ounce of your being, your creativity, your excitement, maybe your seriousness, your ability to follow rules, your ability to be a rebel and break the rules. Whatever it is, know that it is not a coincidence. And sometimes we can see trials, setbacks, challenges as a sign to quit. We can see those things as a sign and think that that means we're disqualified. When the truth is, it's not that you're disqualified. It's literally the reason that you are qualified for the path that God has for you. So it's worth celebrating. It's worth showing up for. And today, I just want to stop by and encourage you with this message to keep showing up, to embrace who you are and know you're not a fraud. No, you're not an imposter. You're literally like unique, wonderful, so unique that no one else can be exactly who you are. They just can't be. So if that's something you've been challenged with today, I hope this encourages you. If you're not connected with me, you can get my business insight on these topics by connecting with me across social media at Erica Empowers. So you'll see a video similar to this one where I take it in a different direction. And then also, if you have not gotten a starter kit, if you are someone with a powerful message, you know that you have been called to speak more, maybe show up on media platforms or turn your message into a movement, I now have a starter kit available for you that you can get at increaseyourvoice.com. And I'm actually going to be sharing in just a moment in my private group of those who are on that starter path, how you can get rid of this whole idea of imposter syndrome and how you can actually make it fruitful in your life. So I'll get into that. I try not to make these videos like 2-3 hours long. So I'm intentional about where I'm showing up with these topics. But if that sounds like something that could be helpful for you, go to increaseyourvoice.com. And if you're looking to support, subscribe. That's the best way that you can support here on this channel. I hope that this encouraged you. If it did, tell someone else, share this video or comment. All of those things, all of that helps to reach more people and helps me to keep showing up here. So go out and make today so amazing that people can't help but be encouraged by you, be excited and ignited when they come in contact with you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.